Hi guys, today we are going to see why Kubernetes. So you are seeing a chair, okay? This is not a chair. Consider this is a Windows or Linux server, okay? So what I am doing, I am deploying the application to the Linux server. It's a green tea packet, but consider that is the Java application, which we call as a jar, okay? So now what happens, say this particular chair is fall down, your application will fall down, right? That is why we have one more server or one more chair and deploy your application here. Now your application is running in two servers, one is Linux, one is Windows. Consider these two chairs are there. So what happens, this chair fall down, you will have this chair, and what happens, this chair fall down, you will have this chair. But what about the scalability? So how many people can sit in this chair and how many people can sit in this chair? If it is active or active passive, let me not go to that. So only one person can sit, you have 10 people, then you have 10 chairs, right? So that is why the concept of Docker container is coming. So I am placing 3 containers, and 3 containers will have the applications deployed on top of a server. I don't have 3 green tea packets, that's why I am showing with one, but consider the 3 containers having 3 applications. Now similarly, also in our DR region, we will have 3 containers. Okay, now my application is running. So now I hope you understand what is container or what is Docker. So basically the chair is your operating system, which can be Windows or Linux, but the container which I have placed is nothing but Docker. Your application was previously deployed into the server, now it has been deployed into the container. Okay, so now what happens, say this container is down. Okay, so since I don't have, let me get 2 more so that it would be easy. Okay, say my Java application is running. Okay, so when one of my container gets down, right, still my application is running. This we call in Kubernetes as pods. Okay, so on top of pods, but I don't want to go detailing, but you understood why containers are very effective. Again, if you see here, so this can be one application, one single application, or I can deploy 3 applications, 3 different applications. In my previous scenario, where if I run in my operating system here, I cannot run more than one application because it needs the runtime environment, Java or Python. I cannot run more application because it will have single IP address. Whereas when I run on the container, I can run multiple applications. That is why from one monolithic application, we are making a microservices architecture, microservices application. Hope you guys are clear here, no confusions, right? So now we have another DR region or cluster where another server we have it. Currently my topic is why we need Kubernetes. Okay, now see, I have 3 containers here and 3 containers there. It's almost 6 containers, but still my node can go down. If my node goes down, all my 3 containers will go down. So what we are doing, we are creating a cluster. So I add 2 or 3 operating system, which we call it as worker node. Okay, so now these 2 are worker node. Assume there is a control plane, which in this situation I am the control plane who is controlling these 2 worker node. If you are using AWS, it is EKS. EKS is managed by AWS. Azure gives AKS, Azure Kubernetes Services. Okay, so then also Kubernetes you can install in your on-prem servers. So currently, say this particular node is down. What happens is my containers will move to another node. In this case, my pods are not going down, which means my application are not going down, but my application are scheduled in another another worker node. How this happened, right? This Docker cannot do this. There's a product called Docker Swarm, but more effectively, now my hands are did it. This is nothing but scheduler. So now I am monitoring both the chairs, that is nothing but controller. Okay, so this is how Kubernetes is required when you have want to manage more number of containers. So container is nothing but Docker, you run, but when it comes to managing more containers, then Kubernetes comes into the play, and it is very well required in our production. Hope you guys getting what is container. Now I am moving back. Once this server is fixed, I am moving back to this because it has a CPU and memory. Okay, so my applications can grow faster, and there is something called replications, HPA, horizontal pod auto scaling, which I, instead of 3 containers, I can increase the number of containers count, okay, based on the load. So one more container can be added here. How all this can be happen, we can discuss in the another session, another video. But as of now, I hope more why Kubernetes is required and what is container technology. You still have your operating system, you still have your virtual machine, but you are installing Docker on top of it and running your application. But this alone is not sufficient for your production workload. So you need to have multiple VM and OS, we call it as worker node, where whatever actions I am doing, Kubernetes will do it, and how to configure it YAML we will discuss. Thank you guys, hope this would be helpful for you.